from the Herbert I. Greenberg Studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and welcome to Up Late with Sam Bass. You may be wondering who Scott Smith is. I mention him every show. He's our announcer. He's the guy that says Up Late with Sam Bass. And I keep expecting Scott to come walking out anytime, like he's behind the curtain. Maybe I guess he's not here tonight. Wish he would come on the show sometime. That'd be great. Be great to have him. Also, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Serve Pro of Rocky Mount and Tarboro. They sponsor our great green room here at the show. And tonight, as we speak, the man behind BoxHause Rocky Mount Boxing and Fitness, Delwin Clark, is in our green room waiting right now. He's probably in there right now doing push-ups and squats, things like that. So I got a taste of what Delwin has to offer last week. I started doing some training with Delwin for an upcoming cage match with you know who. Delwin definitely has his work cut out for him with me, trying to train me, but I appreciate him taking the time to get me into fighting shape. So here's a clip from our session the other day.
Right foot behind you, okay, and a little bit out to the side. Over here, that's a cross. Turn that back foot. So you got a jab, which is the left hand.
Check this out. I had my best Rocky snarl going there, by the way. Do you think it was kind of scary? Maybe not. I'm still really sore. My arms, everything are sore. It's a really tough workout, but I can feel myself getting stronger every day. And let me tell you something. My left jab is no joke. You hear that? A certain person out there? So I hope he knows what he's getting himself into. And I hear he's been doing a lot of training too, but I'm not sure he has anybody as good and competent as Delwin is. He's probably got somebody like Richard Simmons, somebody along his age group or kind of similar to his personality training him. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So speaking of Rocky, when I was training with Delwin, I couldn't help but to think about the Rocky III movie when Apollo Creed comes out and he's training Rocky. In the first two movies, he fought Rocky. But in the third one, he's helping Rocky and he's training him. So I'm no Sylvester Stallone, but Delwin is a great trainer. He may not be in Apollo Creed, but he's pretty daggone close. So the actor, I believe, that played Apollo Creed was Carl Weathers. Now, I hear he's still around. He's still making some films. Maybe we can grab him sometime, get him, give me some pointers on fighting. I don't know. But be cool if we could get him on the show. It would really be fun. And, our research staff, our crack research staff from Macon, North Carolina, they did a little research. And Carl Weathers and Delwin have a little bit in common. Not only the boxing, but they were both associated with football. They played college football. So there's actually no doubt that either one of these guys are guys I don't want to get into a cage with because they could certainly whip my tail. So that's something I don't want to get involved in. So I'm glad I'm not fighting either one of them. So moving on to a different kind of match. Folks, this is a heartbreaking thing I'm getting ready to tell you. My daughter broke my heart. She did. And this is a hard thing for me to say. But she came to me and she said, "Dad, I want to start playing pickleball." Pickleball of all things. My daughter, it's shocking. I know some of you may not know what pickleball is. It's basically wiffle tennis. It's like playing tennis with a wiffle ball. And it's normally something that the boomers are doing. I'm not a boomer, but there are some out there doing it. And so for all of you pickleball fans out there, if you're getting upset with what I'm saying, good. So if you've been watching the show, you kind of know how I feel about pickleball, which is I do not like it at all. I'm sorry. So I just can't understand why my daughter could tell me she wants to play pickleball. Let me get that paternity test done. I don't know. She's mine though, really, seriously. She's a good girl. So I could really think of a million things I'd rather do than play pickleball, maybe more, but I'm gonna give you the top 5. So here it is. This is the top 5 things, where's it at? Here it is, that I would rather do than play pickleball. Number 5, fold fitted sheets for a living. You know what I'm talking about, it's pure torture. You can never get them right. They got those little elastic things around the edge. Typically what I'll do is I'll try to fold it, it doesn't look very good, and I'll just end up balling it up and putting it in the cabinet. So you know what I'm talking about, pure torture. You can't ever get them right, it's just aggravating. So I'd still rather do that and play pickleball. Okay, all right, number 4. Have a sleepover with Richard Simmons, John's trainer. I don't think I need to go into much detail about that. Number 3, walk barefoot on Legos. Yes, I'd rather do that than play pickleball. If you've ever stepped on one, you know what I'm talking about. If it's a room full of them, terrible. Number 2, get stuck on an elevator with my stalker. You know the lady that keeps emailing me, pamplayspickleball@gmail.com? Again, I don't think I need to elaborate on that at all. And the number 1 thing I would rather do than play pickleball is binge watch, check it out. Pickleball, what a joke. So before I bring out my guest, I do have an update to a story from a couple weeks ago. I had mentioned how I'd gone out to my little building called Sam's Shack, as I call it, to get some vodka out of my freezer out there. And I wanted to make a White Russian. Something changed, something different from my normal nightly, almost nightly bourbon. So to my absolute horror, my vodka was gone and was replaced by several Ziploc bags full of my neighbor Kelly's breast milk frozen out there. And yes, her real name is Kelly. She's not Elsie. I did get her permission. Well, I'm happy to say I saw Kelly the other day, and we were able to exchange commodities, as it were, and now I have my vodka back. So who knows? Maybe next week, this glass will have a White Russian instead of my usual bourbon. Or maybe not. We'll be right back with Delwin Clark. Sit tight.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
We're back. As promised, Delwin Clark of BoxHause Rocky Mount sitting right here with me. Thanks for coming to the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Sir.
He's a good guy, everybody. He's a big dude, too, so I'm going to try to behave myself. So let me ask you, how did you like the Serve Pro green room?
Man, it was awesome. They had all the drinks, all the snacks that you can ask for. Shout out to Serve Pro.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I always talk about this crack research staff I've got. And they get some information on people that's unbelievable. So one of the things they said about you is you have a weird ability to name songs just by hearing a few notes, kind of like a name that tune type deal, right? So how did you know you could do that? Is this something you've always been able to do?
So just watching that show, my wife Diana, she gets unbelievably frustrated. You know, just get to the part and say, oh, I can name this in 2 notes. Name this in 1 note. I'll hit the 1 note, and let's just say I'm sleeping on the couch that night.
Come on, Diana. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. Since you've got these 80s parties you're starting to do,
Yep.
here's what we're gonna do. So the experiment that may be terrible, but we're gonna try it. So I'm going to whistle a couple of notes from an 80s tune. Okay?
All right.
Pressure's on, folks. Let's see what Delwin can do here. Let's see if he's really good as he says he is. Okay, song number 1. I'll give you like 3 or 4 notes as I'm whistling.
That's good.
You ready?
Let's go with Uptown Girl,
He got it.
Billy Joel.
He got it. All right, here's another one. You ready?
Let's do it.
I can't believe he can do this one. You ready?
Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
It's really good. Okay, now this is the tough one. This is the tough one. This is for all the money.
I'm here for
There's
it.
no money, but it would be for all the money. Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
Keep your mind in the 80s now.
Man Eater, Hall & Oates.
That's awesome. How do you do that?
Hey, shout out to my mom.
Well, see, I was kind of wondering about the 80s songs. I know you're a little bit younger than me, but that's great.
We got to keep it fresh with the studio. We play music of all times, and you may come in there, you may have some Southern rock playing, may have a little bit of rap, a little bit of techno going, and we got to keep it fresh.
Well, when you had me in there working out, we were playing the Rocky theme and Eye of the Tiger and all that stuff. So I was really jacked up on that deal. So I think I'm getting ready quick. I'm really getting into shape there. So.
Let's do it.
So let's talk a little bit more about you. So you're originally from Raleigh.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised there.
Absolutely.
So when did you come to Rocky Mount?
Yeah, so I've been in Rocky Mount, let's say 5 years now. Moved out. My family, we have a big farm in Bertie County, and we've had in our family 4 or 5 generations. And my granddad, while he was alive, he wanted me to come out here and learn the family business. We have some rental properties, that type of deal out there. And he knew, his health was declining, so wanted me to come out there and learn the business and mess around, start selling cars, and met my wife, and here we are 5 years later.
Okay, we're going to get to the car part here in a minute because we've got that in common too.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned your wife, Diana. I've known Diana a lot longer than I've known you, which is a really long time. How did you guys meet?
So you lie to you, or me to tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth.
Tinder.
Really?
Tinder. I'm a lazy dater, or was a lazy dater. I have no shame in that. And she kept me humble. Our first date, funny story, was at Pelicans here in town with their old spot off 301. And we got ran off by management because we were there all night.
Really? So it was like almost a love at first sight.
Absolutely.
Well, that is awesome. If I'd have said I want you to lie to me, what would you have told me?
Pizza Hut.
That's cool. So I see Diane a lot in my work, and she's really active in the community, and
Absolutely.
we really appreciate everything she does. So good lady right there, and you got a good one right there
So
too.
she keeps me honest.
Yeah, well,
Takes a lot, but she keeps me straight.
Those wives have a hard time. So you've got a dog. Tell me about your dog.
Leroy James. He is the most spoiled, rotten dog in America right now.
What kind of dog?
He is an American bully. He's the cutest little dog, and he is pampered so much that we have to get his water from Harris Teeter because he doesn't like our new well water. So that's Leroy. He will bark at, right now he loves squirrels. That's his thing right now. We have a squirrel counter at our house. He has 2 squirrels since we moved into our new house, and come on, got to check him out one day.
So you say he loves squirrels. He loves to chase them, or he loves to catch them, or?
Oh, he loves to catch them. He'll like bring them to the front door or the back door, and it's like, hey, look what I got.
I mean, they're not living anymore.
Oh, God, no. They're long gone.
So I've had a dog that's the same way. She's only ever caught 1 squirrel, but it was like she caught it and it was lights out for the squirrel. So I understand how that is. That's it's good that they're having fun, but it's not always fun to see what they.
No,
what they
and
do.
he'll bring like one that's the size of a football, or I mean, he has no discrimination when it comes to squirrels.
That's pretty good. So I mentioned earlier, you kind of share a couple things with the guy that played Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers. Both of y'all played college football. You got that boxing background. So Tell me about your days playing football in college.
Yeah, so I actually started out at Mars Hill College, which is Mars Hill University now. Went there straight out of high school. Loved it in the mountains, but I just needed a little extra challenge. I ended up transferring to Wingate University. That's where I got my degree in sports management, and had the best 5 years of my life in college. Actually, my freshman year, we won at Mars Hill the the SAC championship. Went to the playoffs and had a really good season.
Well, he's repping the team name and everything on his shirt there. So
One don't.
does Wingate, did they play Wesleyan's football team?
No.
Barton's?
So they play Barton. They were in the same conference as Barton.
Okay.
Actually, we're going to go see them this year at Barton for my birthday.
Oh, so the game's in Wilson.
In Wilson.
I've been to a couple games. It's actually a really nice setup over there. And I know it's the one at Wesleyan is very similar, so it should be a good time out there too. So when you were in school, you said it was the best 5 years of your life.
Best 5 years.
So I'm sure you were just hitting books and nothing else. You probably didn't have a social life at all. And you behaved yourself. I mean, were you consider yourself a good student?
Oh yeah, well it took me a while. I have no shame about that. When I went to Mars Hill, I developed these habits of not going to class. And funny story, when I got to Wingate, my coach, he called me one day. I'm walking to class, ironically, and he's like, "Hey man, do you like it here?" And I'm like, "Yes sir." He was like, "Well, you might want to go to class." But like I said, once I started, going to class, and I got opportunities through education to start getting internships on campus.
There you go.
I started kind of turning the lights on and ended up 3.0 GPA once I graduated. So
well, that's pretty good for a jock.
Yeah, we did fraternity life, all that. So
now I see here you remember the Kappa Alpha Order.
Yes sir.
So was that like I'm sure that was like an honor fraternity for good grades.
Oh no sir. So that yeah, good grades. Yeah. So our fraternity was on campus. It's no longer on campus anymore because of the opposite of good grades. But we definitely had a good time. Had a lot of philanthropy goings with that. But yeah, like I said, I had a great time in college. Made sure I hit the books as I hit the floor on my way out the door.
There you go. Well, think about these frat parties. Was it kind of like an Animal House type deal?
We gave Animal House a run for their money.
I bet you guys had a good time, though.
Absolutely.
So is there a moment of accomplishment during the time you played football that you're most proud of?
So, again, my freshman year at Mars Hill, we won the SAC championship. I was blessed to play with the guy. His name was Jonas Randolph. This guy, 5'8", maybe 190 pounds, but this guy put up video game numbers every single game.
Wow.
When I mean we would sit in the locker room before the game just hanging out. Guys are focused. Some guys knew they weren't playing, so they'll be kind of cutting up. Well, this guy would be sitting in the back, just hanging out. It's like, hey, I feel like I'll run for about 300 today. He'll go out and run for 425. God. He won the Harlan Hill, which is the Division II version of the Heisman Trophy.
Wow. So where's he at now?
He is at the House University.
Okay.
Yep. So.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So you had a superstar right there in you.
Absolutely.
On your team.
Yes, sir. He was just a phenomenal athlete, great guy, and like I said, that's going to be my biggest achievement in college is just winning the SAC championship. That was amazing. I still wear my shirt. It got holes in it and everything, but it was a good opportunity.
You had to get one of the local printers or screen printers to make you a newer version of it. Maybe they could take the old one and make a better version.
Absolutely.
So we all know you're at BoxHause now.
Yes, sir.
But before you were at BoxHause, you were a car salesman. You talked about that earlier.
Absolutely.
So how long did you do that?
4.5, 5 years. Very, very well at the industry. Glad I got out when I did because things are a little weird now. But definitely that was the best time. I learned a lot of life lessons, and I feel like I was there to learn. That was kind of my biggest benefit from selling cars.
Yeah. So as we talked about, I have a history in the car business, 30 plus long years. But the fact that I was in it for so long, just talking to you, I could tell you were a great salesman because you were one of those guys that people felt comfortable with, easy to talk to, easy to deal with. So I could see where you had a lot of success there.
Sure.
And so What led you to make the transition to BoxHause? I know getting out of car business was a big plus, but what were the other things?
I just had an itch I just couldn't scratch. I was blessed again in the car business where, our business now has no debt. But at the same time, I was just had an itch and I had the opportunity to get my business plan together with Launch Rocky Mount at Nash Community College during the pandemic and learn, how my business worked, got all my documents, financial stuff together, and we started last year, April 9th at City Lake Park here in town. Right. If it was 125 degrees, we were blessed to have people. If it was 22 degrees below, we had people, and we started with one. Now we have over 150 members.
Wow. And I'm going to tell you a story, and I know you've heard it about 1,000 times, about David Ferris coming back from the Y in the morning, and he would see you guys out there bundled up and all that. I've heard that story at least 1,000 times. Sorry, David, I had to do that. So anyway, but you guys have moved to a great facility now, over there behind Sam's Club. Yep. Huge facility. That's where I've been doing my training. So that's where it's all happening over there. So do you normally do one-on-one training, or am I just a special person?
I mean, you're always special, but we do offer one-on-one training.
Special.
We're extending our services for Parkinson's programs. So I have a couple clients I train one-on-one specifically to help them combat Parkinson's. Also, I have a couple clients that are international, and they come in and just want that extra attention and want to learn how to box.
And I know you do, you work with the city on some stuff. You have a discount for chamber members.
Absolutely.
Things like that. What is it you do for the city?
Yeah, for city, anybody that is a City of Rocky Mount employee or family, we provide them with a special discount, which is $75. It's unlimited classes for singles, $110 for family members. That's 2 adults and anybody 16 or older. And with the city, we're helping them revamp their healthcare program and their wellness program, just to provide a better, option for their employees, because they get actually paid leave every day to work out.
That's neat. That's really nice.
Sure.
But like I said, in the workout I had, workouts I had, I was really sore afterwards. So I'm just telling you, it really is tough, but it's good for you.
Absolutely.
So we got a few pictures from the classes, okay? So let's take one. Here's one of some people that are all lined up against the wall. Are they in some kind of a trouble? What's going on here?
So the funny part about this picture, so every summer we have what we call Boxing and Brews. We start in Tarboro and we into Nashville. So we hit up every single brewery in Tarboro, Rocky Mount, Nashville, and we have an on-site class. And that picture in particular, we were at Lorema Coffee House, and we were doing wall sits to finish off our core exercise, which we always do a 1-minute hold to finish up class. And actually during that picture, they were doing the wave to keep them entertained for that minute.
Okay, I thought they got in trouble because they weren't hustling enough. And you said get against the wall, or you were getting on them or something. But
I always say
it was like a firing squad.
Oh, yeah. I always use the term, are you twerking, are you working in class? So that keeps people motivated because they don't want to get caught twerking.
Yeah, there's a big difference in two, right? So tell me a little bit more about the Boxing and Brews. What's the setup on that?
Yeah, so again, we go to every brewery, coffee house, what have you, from Tarboro to Nashville. And that gives us the opportunity, one, get out the studio, get us to meet new members or new potential members, and then just redevelop our relationships with local businesses. So eventually, we're going to have the 2024 Fitness Festival in Red Oak next year. And this is just our way of, providing something new for their business and keeping our members motivated.
So, part of the deal is you get a beer or something afterwards?
Absolutely. We'll get your first drink on us, on the house.
Okay, so you wouldn't ever have anybody drink a beer or a bourbon before a workout, because I would actually probably need a bourbon beforehand.
A bourbon and a 911 call.
That's exactly what would happen, I'm telling you. So, wait till the workout's over and get your cold beer.
Absolutely.
So a lot of boxers are known for being light on their feet. So I'm going to ask you, are you a good dancer? Would Diane agree to what you're getting ready to say?
The best answer I have for that is I have 2 left feet when it comes to dancing, but when it comes to being athletic, I can give anybody a run for their money.
Okay, I can believe that. So you wouldn't say that you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. You sting like a bee, but you may not float like a butterfly.
Oh no, it's so bad. My mom, she got married a few years ago, and you kind of do the first son, first mom dance, and she's whispering in my ear like, "Hey, like you need to get right because you can't be out here looking crazy." And let's just say that video was somewhere in the vault, and it's never coming out that vault.
We got to find the video. Let me get my crack research, because that'll be the second show showing that video and talking about that. So let me ask you. So when you're not training local celebrities like me, so when you're not doing that, what's your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Yeah, so kayaking is like a big thing. We're blessed here in Rocky Mount to be literally surrounded by a lot of water. And in Eastern North Carolina, we can go any Sunday to, you can go to Jacksonville, we can go stay here in town and just put in, take out, and that's just our thing. Also, I play golf. Okay. So I know I need to keep my swing juice nearby while I'm out there, but
I know a lot of guys that they have to drink beer and smoke a cigar while they're playing golf. I might be one of them, but I don't play golf anymore.
Yeah, and then staying active, just staying active. That's just my thing, and sleep. Gotta love some good sleep too.
So I'm gonna go back to the kayak thing. Have you ever fallen out of one, or?
So true story. So it was Diana and I's second date ever in life. We bought kayaks, and we were like, "Hey, we're going kayaking." Well, we were probably 3 minutes in to the trip, and some way, somehow, still to this day, I cannot tell you what happened. I hit a tree, flipped out, and thank God I have my life jacket on and can swim. I literally carried the kayak 4 miles swimming before I could get out.
Wow.
but I'm still here to tell the story.
Well, that's the important thing. So I always think, I've never kayaked before. I always think, I see the people in it. I would think if it flipped over and I was upside down in it, how do you get out of it? Does that ever happen?
Well, again, you can either roll out, which if you have a cover on your kayak, you can just roll back over. Or like me, I didn't have a cover, so I just, used my swimming ability.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's your athletic abilities coming out to save your life, I guess. So, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and visit with us.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed talking to you. I always enjoy seeing you. You're one of the most positive people around Rocky Mount. You and Diana are like a power couple out there, doing good things in the community. So we really appreciate it. And we're going to have you back at some point in time.
Consider it done. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, Delwin. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. Hey, I want to thank my special guest tonight, Delwin Clark, for coming on. Delwin of BoxHause Rocky Mount. Great interview, great guy, doing great things in the community. Also, I want to tell you, next week we will have TJ Walker. Mayor Pro Tem TJ Walker will be here in person. Another great guy. Can't wait to talk to him a little bit. So look, every Thursday night at 10 on WHIG, tune in. We're going to be right there with a good time, and I hope you can join us. And I would like to say one more thing. Have your pets spayed or neutered. See you soon.